Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing well. Today it is time to get back into Oh Rats, a nonfiction book about rats. And the reason that we're reading this is because if you remember from the last time I read from it, we are going to be learning about the bubonic plague in this chapter, which was also a part of some of the information that I shared with you from What's That Thing. It was a major thing that happened during medieval time that overtook everyone's life, and we can really understand this because we're in the middle of a pandemic too. The bubonic plague was a pandemic as well, much worse than what we're going through, but they were probably feeling some of the things that we're feeling, being stuck at home and all the questions that we have. But rats played a big part of that pandemic. They were carriers of the disease. They did not actually have the disease, but they literally were carrying the carrier of the disease. So they were carrying fleas, which were infected with the disease, Yersinia pestis. All right, so today I'm going to be reading stuff to you guys that is going to stick with you your whole life. I'm sure of it. I've been reading this book for like 10 years, and there is stuff in this book that I'm going to share with you today that I still think about on a regular basis because it messed with my mind. All right, so let's see if it does it for you, and you can tell me about that later. All right, here we go. Everything about the rat makes it a champion of survival. Of all the mammals, only humans have been more successful, at least so far. Just think about what a rat can do. It can squeeze through a pipe the width of a quarter. So think about how big a quarter is, and that a rat can collapse its skeleton and get through that and climb through it. Scale a brick wall straight up like Spider-Man. Fall off a 5-story building and land safely on its feet, which is crazy. Sounds like a cat. We don't want to have to see it to believe it, but we kind of want to have to see it to believe it. All right. Rear up on its hind legs and box with its front paws, which is super cute. Get flushed down a toilet and live. If you've seen Ratatouille, we all know that that can happen, right? Flushing down a toilet and live. Here you go. This one's going to get you for weeks, maybe months, for me years, maybe years for you too. So anyway, you got to hear this. It can climb up a drain pipe into a toilet bowl. So I know that's going to bother you at least today. Every time you go and lift the lid of the toilet, you're going to be like, is there going to be a rat or rat eyes in that hole of the toilet? It does for me. All right. So anyway, I'm sorry about that, but you really need to know. That's a life lesson. Okay. So there's two main types of rats, the Norway rat or the Rattus norvegicus, originated in Siberia, which is in the eastern part of Russia. Over the centuries, it got other names based on its appearance and lifestyle. There's the brown rat, gray rat, wharf rat, water rat, sewer rat, alley rat, and house rat. Scientists call it smaller cousin Rattus rattus, also known as the black rat, ship rat, and roof rat. Its homeland is in northern China. No matter what we call the rat, its body is built for survival. A rat can collapse its skeleton, allowing it to wiggle into a hole as narrow as 3/4 of an inch. An adult rat's jaws are hundreds of times more powerful than a person's. Large muscles allow it to bite down with a force of 7,000 pounds per square inch, about the same force as a crocodile. Its teeth are stronger than copper and lead. Gnawing through bone and wood is no problem for a rat. A sheet of iron a ½ inch thick or a slab of concrete 4 inches thick is no problem either. Rats gnaw through iron cabinets to get at food and concrete to get various minerals they need to build bones and teeth. Rats have even gnawed through dam walls, starting floods that wash away entire villages. Mostly rats gnaw to wear down their incisors, their two front teeth. Since these grow 5 inches per year, rats must keep gnawing or die. So what happens if they don't gnaw on stuff that wears down their front teeth, their teeth, like fingernails, if you've ever seen somebody with like wild, crazy long fingernails, they curl. So they will grow straight down and then they'll curl backwards. Okay, so down and up under their chin, and then the teeth will come through the bottom of their jaw, which would lock their mouth shut, and then they can't eat at all, right? So it will kill them. Rats have keen senses, also known as vital aids for survival. Their hearing is excellent, and they can speak over distances of 40 to 50 feet. They do this by making a high-pitched sound impossible for the human ear to detect. These signals apparently alert family members to the presence of food or warn of dangers. Elephants make a similar sound that carry for miles. Only the most sensitive electronic devices can detect such sounds. Rats are nighttime creatures. If you see them running about during the day, it's because food is scarce and they are desperate to find a meal. Although unable to see well in daylight, they have excellent night vision. An adult rat can detect motion 30 feet away in nearly total darkness. A rat is not finicky about its food. If necessary, it will eat anything that will not eat it first. This ability to get nourishment from many sources is a great survival advantage, especially when food is scarce. A rat can eat 1/10 of its body weight every day. If that held true for people, the average adult would need about 16 pounds of food a day. That's crazy. Now imagine eating 64 quarter pounder burgers in a day or 32 pizzas in one day. You would burst. Favorite foods are grains such as wheat, rice, fruits, meats, and fish. Birds' eggs are a huge treat for rats. They like them so much that this yen has become a problem worldwide. Not only do rats raid farmers' chicken coops, in the wild they raid nesting birds. So far, rats have wiped out 18 species of birds and put 40 more on the endangered species list. In the past, most of their victims lived on small Pacific islands without native rats. Over the years, however, ships arrived with stowaway rats in their holds, and when the ships anchored, the rats swam ashore ready to meet whatever challenge awaited them. Right, so let's talk about their family and the way that their behavior is within their family group. In most animal species, the weak and the sick are usually killed and left to die. For example, should a shark get hurt, others smelling the blood will eat it instantly. Rats are unusual because family members show pity to the unfortunate. Finding a family member with its tail caught in a trap, they might bite through the tail to free its owner. Sometimes able-bodied rats lead blind rats. They do this by allowing the blind rat to hold onto the tail of another, or by each holding one end of a stick in its mouth. Families may feed crippled members all their lives. To survive in the dangerous world, rats must constantly replace those lost to disease, other animals, and people. Thus, female rats have large litters. The arithmetic is awesome. Mama rat carries her litter, she's pregnant, with 6 to 22 young, which is crazy, for 3 weeks. That's it, 3 weeks she's pregnant. The young are called pups, and after giving birth, she can mate again at once, producing a total of 381 rats in a year. Meanwhile, these in turn mate and have their own pups. Laboratory findings suggest that a single pair of rats could have an astonishing 359 million descendants in 3 years. So this is important because when we get to this point in medieval history and rats are carrying fleas around the city, and we know that, let's think of them like Adam and Eve, when people think of them being the first 2 humans on earth. So 2 rats, and those 2 rats in 3 years' time have 359 million descendants that come after them. That's insane. And it's going to help us really understand how the bubonic plague got so out of control so fast. All right, so let's get into a fun fact about rats. So at the end of each reading, I'm going to share a fun little story or fun fact about rats. Like, this whole book is full of fun facts, let's face it. But here isn't a fun little story. All right, so I'm going to show you a picture this time. Can you see it? There we go. An English farmer watched 2 rats steal an egg from a chicken coop without breaking it. I saw a rat upside down on its back with a hen's egg in its paws being dragged by the other rat from a laying box across a pigsty into a rat hole. The erect rat had a tail of the other rat over its shoulder, right? So one rat, I don't want my book to fall. One rat is holding the tail over his shoulder like this, and he's moving forward and pulling the other rat that's laying on its back like this, holding the egg. So as the procession moved forward and halts and starts, as the leading rat bent forward to drag the other rat along by its tail. So eventually, The two rats with the egg, undamaged, disappeared into the hole. That's pretty cool. That tells you something about how smart they really are. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this rat story today. Next one coming up is going to be about rats and disease, right? So, we need to learn about that to understand the bubonic plague that is coming in the Middle Ages along with the Crusades. So, get ready for that. Hope you guys are good. If you need anything, let me know. Send me an email, swolf2@district100.com. Bye, guys.